To ask why we fight is to ask why the leaves fall. It is in their nature. Perhaps there is a better question. Why do we fight? To protect home and family, to preserve balance and bring harmony. For my kind, the true question is, what is worth fighting for?
So hello and welcome back yet again to a new continent, a new expansion to explore, and I am so excited to explore it with you because Mists of Pandaria is the expansion that really truly started my desire to actually explore every speck of this game. In some ways, it was a sad reason because a lot of my friends had stopped playing and I had moved to a new state and all of that. But at the same time, the expansion had just come out and I finally had internet that wasn't dial-up. And I had a better computer, so I could finally actually see the details, and I figured, what better spot to start the exploration of Pandaria than right here at the Shrine of Fellowship, which is, if you didn't know, the place that the cinematic trailer actually takes place in. So if you look, this is the bell that our Alliance captain gets slammed up against while he and the orc are fighting. And not too far away, you can see the statues that they fought and tumbled around. And more importantly, you can get an achievement, which Onyx has not gotten, and I made sure to not get it, just so that I could do it with this video. You can get an achievement for being just like the panda in the trailer. I think that's Chen Storm Stout, but I could be wrong. And straightening it. There we go. We've now restored balance. And this is a beautiful place. Even if you didn't want to come here just to visit the trailer location, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous shrine, the Shrine of Fellowship. Now, I was reading a little bit on Wowipedia, one of my very favorite places to go for trivia and things like that. And according to them, this Sam the Wise, I think his name is, who I think is right here, every once in a while, and it seems to be on a very random spawn timer, but every once in a while he will leave the building and he will go to the northwestern area of the Shrine of Fellowship. And when he gets there, he stands opposite of Doji, who is standing on the northwestern area. And when he gets opposite Doji, 6 male Pandaren challengers will appear. And then they gather in the center of the area and dance. And I guess they're all standing on top of each other, so it just looks really, really weird. And then they stealth out, and then they're gone. I haven't seen that happen yet, but I would not mind being around when it did. So yes, we are starting where all Horde and Alliance players start. And I think what I'm going to do is Onyx is going to take the northern half, and then next week Beryl will take the southern half, because the Jade Forest is just, all of the zones in Pandaria actually just keep getting bigger and bigger, and I figured it would be a lot to do it all in one video. So we're going to hit some of my favorite spots, which actually happen to be in this northern area. So I'm not going to go too much into the lore of Pandaria, because I'm not really a lore channel. I'm more a wow, look at all of this channel. And honestly, wow, look at all this. Pandaria, I think Pandaria and Kulturas are my favorite areas in World of Warcraft, and that is even saying that's even factoring in the Dragon Isles, which are amazing. Also, figured I should turn the music down at least a little bit. So, like I said, I am absolutely in awe of all of Pandaria. It's one of those areas where I could just go and kind of chill out to just the sheer beauty of it. And there's a lot of little hidden secrets that you can find. There's a hidden treasure, which there's an achievement if you collect all of the treasures of Pandaria. So you can find one right here in the Circle of Stone. There we go. We have gotten a treasure of Pandaria. It's kind of funny because Onyx hasn't really spent much time here. Some of my other characters practically live in Pandaria, and then others don't. But yeah, just a cute little boat pulled up to an island. Now, Horde players start off over here in the Honeydew Village, which is right up here. You can see that. It's where, if you just take the portal, it's where you will arrive when you come to Pandaria. And it's also where your ship crashes if you play the opening scenario to Pandaria. Which I do really suggest that everybody play through that at least once. It's a really good scenario. Do I skip it most of the time these days? Yeah, I do. But I do suggest that everybody at least play through it once. And, that's actually kind of my advice with every expansion. Play through the opening once, get a feel for it, and then if they actually have a skip, I would use it because, honestly, after a while playing through the opening scenario can be a little old. Now, I think the thing that really got me about Pandaria is it's the first expansion where if you take a look at this bed, Pandaren beds just look cozy. Especially the ones like this that are built into the wall with your bookshelves up above. If I could make a bed like this for myself in real life, I 100,000% would. But anyway, here we are in Honeydew Village. Unlike a lot of expansions, you won't find every profession trainer in one place in Pandaria. It's one of the things that I've always kind of quibbled about with this expansion is you kind of have to go all over the map if you're into professions like I am. The other funny thing about Honeydew Village and Pawdon Village, which is where the Horde and the Alliance respectively set up camp, is that although Mayor Honeydew actually states that his people are going to be neutral to both the Alliance and the Horde, in fact, they aren't. They're allied with the Horde here at Honeydew Village, and the villagers at Pawdon are allied with the Alliance. So when you first land, you end up doing a bunch of quests trying to get the Alliance out of here. Oops, and suddenly I am on Hellscream's Fist. Obviously because I haven't actually done the scenario. But yeah, you end up going through, doing the scenario, trying to fight off the Alliance, and rescue your wounded Horde compatriots. And once you're done with that, the entire continent pretty much opens up to you. What I really like about Pandaria and about this entire area is the sheer number of explorable buildings. It's honestly amazing. And like I said, it's only surpassed by Beryl for the Alliance, and the Dragon Isles in general are also areas where you can really do some exploration. But Pandaria is where it all started for me. It's also where Blizzard started tossing in a few more fun little references, like the place that we are coming up to right now, which, if you know, this is Blizzard's version of the house from the movie Up from Pixar. It's kind of adorable. It's here just because there are no quests that bring you to it, and the more I talk to people, the more people don't even seem to know that it's here. So if you're watching this video, now you know. I will pull up the map really quick. It is right here, just above Srila Village, and you can recognize it by all the balloons on top of the house. And if you look, you've got Dig the fox, which is supposed to be like Doug the dog. I think that was his name. Shameful fact about me, I actually have not seen Up because watching just the opening makes me cry, and I'm afraid that the entire movie would make me cry. So I haven't watched it yet. But I'm assuming that Rusty Nail here is supposed to be like the boy who is the scout. Rusty Nail says, "Not sure how I got here, but good fortune often finds the open-minded." And inside, you have Carr, who is supposed to be Carl.
You have the eyes of one who has traveled much.
Who says, "More visitors? Bah!"
May you find mastery.
And you know, he's got a
in your
cozy little
passions.
house, kind of like I've seen from the movie Up itself. Carl's house did look very cozy. So there is the house from Up, and now you know. Not too far below the Up house, we have Srila Village, which, fun fact, it has been speculated that this is actually where the anglers were going to be, considering this is a very cute little fishing village. But since they put the Order of the Cloud Serpents here in Pandaria, or in the Jade Forest, they decided that probably would overload the area, especially considering all of the new players would be clustered here, which just left a very cute little fishing village. And again, the attention to detail in Pandaria is honestly awe-inspiring. Big shout out to the art team. You know, it's the first place in World of Warcraft where I actually remember seeing bathtubs other than Dalaran, but I think that the first bathtub in Dalaran was actually in Legion Dalaran, so this might have been the very first bathtub in World of Warcraft, at least that I remember. So, you know, you can climb in, sit down, take a bath, and then get into one of these cozy beds. And then take your morning tea out here on your own little private balcony. If Blizzard ever ends up actually making player housing, I really hope that they let us choose the type of housing we want. I'm not sure what I would pick, but Pandaren housing is high on my list. The other thing I love about Pandaria is just the sheer number of gorgeous statues. Like I said, I'm not a lore channel. I vaguely know the lore of the Mogu. I vaguely know the lore of the Pandarans. I leave stuff like that to Bellular and Nobble and Taliesin and Evitel. I'm just here for how amazing it is to just run around. This is probably one of the most beautiful expansions, and if it's one that you really haven't spent much time in, you should totally correct that, jump in the game, and just come and enjoy it. Also, the questing here is honestly top-notch. There are a lot of really fun quests. There are some frustrating ones. Blizzard was still kind of working out the whole system of questing, but there are some really good quests in Pandaria. Now we're over at the Tian Monastery, which I'm pretty sure is what Chen Stormstout in the trailer was looking down on, was the Tian Monastery. Don't quote me on that, because it might not have been, but I just know that he looks down and sees all of the people training. I don't know if you can actually see this from there, though. But yeah, there's a bunch of quests here at the Tian Monastery, and it's gorgeous. You know, actually looking at the map and where the Shrine of Fellowship is, which is right in this area, I think it was the Tian Monastery that Chen was looking at as he stared down. Like I said, though, it's a beautiful place. The questing here is quite a bit of fun. And now we are in the Thunderpaw Refuge. Now, from what I have read, this is apparently where monks come to learn fist weaving, which is something that you can see them doing. And it is also a place where you can read about the first monks. In the days of the Mogu dynasties, slaves were the lifeblood of the empire. Pandaren, Hosen, and Jinyu worked fields, dug mines, and built the mighty fortresses of their masters. To help combat fatigue, maintain morale, and return the wounded to work, the Mogu permitted a Pandaren caste of slaves that specialized in the brewing of remedies. Simple teas and poultices were their specialty at first. Over the years, these specialists became healers, community leaders, and brewmasters. A noble tradition was born, and these early monks became symbols of hope and pride amongst the Pandaren. It was these heroes who first learned how to fight without weapons. In secret, monks taught the other slaves the secrets of martial arts. When the revolution came, the monks were the first into battle, inspiring the humble farmers, smiths, and masons to follow. And that is the story of the first monks that you can learn here at the Thunderfall Refuge. Now, on our way to visit the Hosen, we will stop here in Tiger's Wood, where the Alliance are dropping in and attacking the Hosen and the Horde player if you come here, and they are led by Captain Jack Arrow. Obviously a Captain Jack Sparrow reference, and Tiger's Wood is obviously a reference to Tiger Woods. Although, there are quite a few tigers that roam this area, so who knows, maybe it's just talking about the fact that there are lots of tigers in these woods. Now over here we have Camp Nuka Nuka. The Horde players can earn the trust of the Hosen, obviously I have not earned it yet, and actually turn them into your allies by doing a whole bunch of absolutely ridiculous quests, but ridiculous quests are kind of the best kinds of quests. I can't remember if the Alliance can also turn the Hosen into allies. I'm almost thinking that they can, considering I just got marked for PvP, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's actually pretty funny because, like I said, Gruken Hill is where you can fight with the Hosen, which are the monkey-like race that also is native to Pandaria and keep attacking me. But after you earn their trust, you actually get a Horde flight point there, and the Horde will eventually end up using that as their launch point into their next zone. Another really fun quest chain that I remember doing, mostly because I wanted to find out how to tame the Jade cats that roam around here, is the Lair of the Jade Witch. The Lair of the Jade Witch is the home of Widow Greenpaw. She's known as the Jade Witch by the locals because of all the jade statues that are around, and there's a little bit of a mystery surrounding her. Yes, you can go ahead and talk to her. I mean, she says, "Have you come to pay your respects at the shrine of my husband? He was a hero, a master of jade crafting and fighting. He was to be remembered forever," they said. "Do you like my statues? I craft them with special care, saving only the best to provide my husband company and protection."
Come a little closer.
And there's this mysteriously sparkling statue here of a jade warrior who looks like he got frozen in time. It's a little strange. You can talk to him. He appears to be holding something, so let's go ahead and take it. And poof, he's gone, but we got something new. Let's go check that out. What did we get there? We got a jade-infused blade. It is one of the treasures of Pandaria. So there you go. You can get your very own jade blade. And look, here's the Jade Witch's husband, Master Greenpaw. Behold, Master Greenpaw, known throughout the lands as the Jade Fist Monk. Through skill, determination, and chi, he mastered the form now known as the dreaded Jade Strike, a blow that would transmute foes into statues of jade. It was his heroism and sacrifice that saved the Jade Forest in a time of great need, and his like is not to be seen in the world again. May this statue forever stand as a reminder of the price of peace, and may his sacrifice never be forgotten. Well, that's actually quite lovely. I'm not really sure that his wife is quite following along with his ideals, but it is quite lovely. So, speaking of things I don't think I ever noticed before, I don't think that I ever actually stopped and looked at this raft that is in the middle of this lake that is over here, I think near Greenstone Village, where there is a skeleton, a couple of bottles of booze, a teddy bear, and a picnic? ? Interesting. Like I said, you find stuff in this game every time I log in. I find something new. And actually what I was coming to talk about was just Greenstone Village, where you've got a couple of little quests. They're not exactly having the greatest time with the Jade Witch. A bunch of beautiful little houses. An inn. Strangely enough, though, there is not a flight point here. But you do need to know about this area if you want to do mining in Pandaria, mostly because just outside of the Greenstone Masons Quarter is the Pandaren mining trainer, and that is Smeltmaster Ashpaw. I can't tell you how many times I have looked for her and not been able to find her, so I figured I would put her in the video. You see, she is right here, just barely below the Tien Monastery. So, the more you know. Alright, the last place we're going to talk about today, well, two places, are Windward Isle and the Arboretum, so let's head that way. Alright. Here we are at the Arboretum, which is the home of the Cloud Serpents. It's where they're trained, it's where they're raised, and it's where you can actually earn your own. You start by getting a Cloud Serpent egg. This is my Cloud Serpent here. I haven't actually finished training him, but that's because I've already got all three of the colors. And I remember this was a time-consuming but incredibly fun way to earn a couple of mounts. Back when Pandaria first started, you could only get one per character, and it wasn't shared. So, you know, I had to have 3 characters all grind their way up and raise their own babies so that I could have a red, a blue, and a green, because of course I wanted all of them. You can do dailies here. It's actually gotten a lot easier. There are Cloud Serpent races that I'm very, very bad at, but a lot of people are much better at it than me. It's ironic. I love the racing. I love dragon racing in the Dragon Isles. I'm not good at it, but I love it. And so I probably will actually never earn any of the racing titles just because it's not something I'm good at. Give me exploration, I'm fairly good at that. But races, PvP, not so good at. There's a very cute little fishing hut if you're looking for a place to just hang out with your thoughts. That is right over here by Windward Isle, which is where you get sent for a lot of your dailies for the Cloud Serpents. It's also where you rescue your egg for your very own Cloud Serpent when you first open up these quests. Also, it is home to yet another incredibly cute little Pandaren house. The bed's not built into the wall, but it'll do. Actually, it'll do quite nicely. You get the whole island to yourself. You just have to fight off a bunch of the slither scale egg drinkers who are over here fighting with your potential mounts. Like I said, it's a very, very fun set of quests. I never mind doing the dailies for the Order of the Cloud Serpents because they're fun and they feel kind of fulfilling. In some ways, I miss having dailies. Pandaria and Draenor were pretty much the last expansions that had daily quests, and they switched over to the whole world quest system. And sometimes I miss having dailies. Sometimes they also did feel like a grind, but sometimes I miss having them. Also, you gotta love all of the stuff that has crashed into these islands. Anyway, that is our first half of our Jade Forest overview. Next week, we're going to turn things over to Beryl, who is going to take us through the other side of Pandaria and some of the Alliance exclusive areas. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know your memories of Pandaria. Did you enjoy it? Do you like dailies or do you like world quests better? You know, just drop me a line in the comments down below. Let me know what your favorite expansion was. I still cannot pick a favorite expansion, but I would say my top 3 have to all do with art and some of the memorable quests that I remember. And so my top 3 would actually be Pandaria, the one that we're in now, Dragonflight, and despite the fact that a lot of people gave it a lot of hate, I loved Battle for Azeroth. Not for the battle aspect, because I'm not a big war person. You know, I personally think we should all just be friends. I know everybody says it's not World of Peacecraft, but I kind of like peace a little bit better than war. But Battle for Azeroth, especially on the Alliance side, which I switched to after deciding how much I absolutely hated Zuldazar to get around in before Flight was available to me. But once I hit the Alliance side, the storytelling was, I think, pretty darn good. So Battle for Azeroth is definitely one of the expansions that I personally look at with a great deal of fondness. But let me know in the comments down below which was your favorite expansion and why. And until next time, when we explore the southern half of the Jade Forest, I will see you later. Say goodbye, Onyx.